Miami's big three have been very good in closeout games since they got together. Dwayne Wade, a game-time decision, and the decision was yes.
And getting an easy layup makes the knee feel pretty good early in the game.
Dealing with that bone bruise that's troubled him for the last couple of months of the season. Heat just off to a phenomenal start here. Mario Chalmers to Wade for the layup. Wade to Udonis Haslem. Got the Bulls talking amongst themselves. Chris Bosh up top to LeBron for the dunk. 24-10. They led 22-4 at one point.
And I tell you what, it looked like this was headed for blowout city, but you saw Nate Robinson trying to rally the troops. It seemed to have worked in that second quarter as he and Carlos Boozer personally tried to get the Bulls back into this game.
Noah called for a technical foul as he gets tangled up underneath. Carlos Boozer, rebound, putback. He was huge in this game.
Yes, he was very active on the glass and big-time putbacks.
Bulls outscored Miami 32-17 in the second quarter. Robinson was one of the sparks. They get back within 4 there, and then off the Shane Battier turnover as he flings it off.
He said, wait a minute, he's too close to me.
It's Butler for 3. The Bulls hit 5 of 7 from out there in the second quarter.
Really just played with a lot of energy and confidence in that second quarter. Never seemed to get out of character, even though they struggled early on. But D. Wade, wow.
Knocks down the jumper. Miami now playing from behind. 8 seconds left. It's Robinson. One more.
Feel good. 2 lanes. Pull up, step back. Take that with you, Chalmers. Feeling good about myself. Let's go.
Hit all 3 of the threes he tried in the first half. Finished with 14 points at the break. On to the third quarter. Bulls with a 6-point halftime lead. This was the possession of the game for Chicago. They got 5 shots in here.
And this is really why they've been so competitive in this series. And the one Achilles heel of the Miami Heat, their ability or inability to control that defensive backboard.
Gave them their biggest lead of the game to that point at 63-54. LeBron James is still on the other team, and that's a problem.
That's a problem, especially when you're in attack mode, determined to get to the rim.
Rip Hamilton.
Dust him off, see what he has left.
You didn't play the previous 3 games.
Hot tub time machine, baby.
All of a sudden, 26 the last 2 games. Dwayne Wade sending that bandage
it
on the,
a little loose.
on the knee.
Looked like he's going to get it tightened up a little bit.
Off to the locker he goes. Eric Spoelstra said he was going back to change shoes. Okay.
Birdman.
Heat out on the run, and it's Chris Anderson on the receiving end of the alley-oop. James.
At his best.
James
Attacking
Battier.
the paint, finding the shooters in the corner, knock it down.
Rare make for Battier. Norris Cole. Been making everything. Showed us a little something extra here.
Showing some hops, young fella.
Right between Boozer and Noah, Miami takes an 84-83 lead, and Wade got it going in the fourth.
Tell you what, he came back after getting that knee tightened up a little bit, had a little bit more pep in his step here with the putback.
I didn't know shoes can help you do that.
And tape.
Oh, okay.
You know, the shoes and the tape on the knee.
They've been MacGyvering that knee together with tape, according to Wade. Late here, Miami up by 6. It's Nate one more time. 4 of 7 from three-point range. He finished with 21 after an 0 for 12 game 4. Bulls with a chance here still late. Down by 3. They get 1-3 and an offensive board.
Right there, I thought Rip Hamilton was done. Nate Robinson cut under control.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Butler.
Scramble, chaos.
Everybody leaves him.
Oh.
I think he was surprised really on that play as well.
Wow, miscommunication by the Heat. Gave Butler a look, it wouldn't go, and Chicago's season ends. Miami wins it 94-91. Bulls suffer their first 4-game losing streak of the entire season. Miami headed to their 3rd straight Eastern Conference Finals after closing out a game for the 9th time and 11 opportunities during the Big 3 era. They're now 12-1 in the postseason since losing Game 1 of last year's finals.
You got to give them a lot of credit. They're a great team. Great team, and they play to win. They play for each other, you know. So they're not going to beat themselves. You have to beat them. You have to play well for 48 minutes.
I think everybody would have wanted to see both teams healthy, and even as competitors, we have a bigger goal. So it has to be no mercy, and you take care of your business, and you survive and move on. But we all know that they've gone through a great deal of adversity, and you know, everybody would want to see both teams complete.
It's hard right now because we just lost. It's always hard to, you know, sit here knowing that your season's over. but there's a lot of positives. We're a young team that has experienced a lot at a young age. You know, when you see what, you know, Jimmy Butler, a guy like Jimmy Butler brought to the table, you know, we're going to come back healthy, and we're going to be able to compete with these guys for a long time. And I think that one day we'll get our shot.
You know, emotionally, you know, this game took a lot out of both teams. You know, we were talking in the back. I'm not sure out of all my closeout games, I'm not sure of all of them, but I think this is probably one of the toughest ones we've had, and I've had in my career. You know, closing these guys out.
Time for On the Road, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Click it or ticket. In addition to everything else the Heat have been doing lately, they're 4-0 on the road this postseason. Overall, going back to the regular season, the Heat have now won 45 of their last 48 games. For a little perspective, 17 NBA teams did not win 45 games over the course of the regular season.
Wow.
How do you beat these guys?
Well, you got to take care of the basketball for one, and also play good, solid team defense. As you watch this play develop, in game one, LeBron James, in my opinion, wasn't in attack mode he was these last 4 games. So now Chicago's worried about every move, every time he takes an angle to the basket, not picking up those loose guys. And that's when LeBron James, in my opinion, is at his best being a facilitator.
That's a great point. You see here on the move, and you see the amount of attention he draws, but then his pinpoint accuracy with his ability to find the cutter there, Udonis Haslem, for the finish. And this play here was just spectacular. Look at the traffic that he's in, the duress he's under, and still he's able to find Ray Allen kind of hanging out easy. He had Shane Batty as well, but to be able to find one of those guys who spaces the floor so well, knock it down. You see that parabola up top there? Did you see that, Matt?
I did see that parabola.
Yeah, that was nice. That was
good
nice.
work. Yeah, the Heat are headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals one more time. James now has 11 straight games of at least 18 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists in the postseason. That's a tough assignment for anybody.
It really is, but you have to understand that you have to make him work on both ends of the floor and make sure your defense is solid, and, of course, take care of the basketball playing the Heat.
Time now for Cold Hard Facts, presented by Coors Light. And they reveal the end of the Chicago season. 5th straight playoff appearance for the Bulls, who were eliminated by the Heat twice in the last 3 seasons. Derrick Rose missed the entire season, all 99 games worth. They were 51-48 in that time, and some changes ahead for Chicago. As for the Heat, how about a losing regular season record against both the Pacers and the Knicks, their possible Eastern Conference Finals opponents? 3D, what about Indiana's chances?
They have a great chance because they're defensively sound all year long. They're one of the best. Roy Hibbert's back playing solid basketball. Anytime someone drives to the paint, he's there to be the shot blocker or alter the shot. Paul George, David West, and their backcourt, George Hill and Lance Stevenson, they've been playing better basketball as well.
GA, the Knicks are down 3-1 in their series with Indiana. If they pull off the comeback, how do they match up?
Well, they are one of the few teams, I think, that really believes they could beat the Miami Heat in this series. Unfortunately for the Knicks right now, they may not believe they can beat the Indiana Pacers. But if they're able to get beyond and come off with a miraculous comeback, I think that would make for a really interesting matchup between New York and Miami. There's tremendous history between those two franchises.